What's going on, Godzilla nerds and kaiju collectors? Today I'm going to be talking about the Godzilla vs. Kong Blu-ray Set Bandai exclusive figures. Ooh and ah. If you didn't know, both of these figures here are exclusive to a Japanese Godzilla vs. Kong Blu-ray set that came with a bunch of other goodies, including these two figures here. They're both pretty neat. Both of them are repaints, with the exception of Kong, with the addition to the axe. I think it's pretty funny that this is the only Bandai Legendary Godzilla 21 that exists. Both of these figures look pretty nice side by side together. They're in the 6-inch scale and are scaled quite nicely together, I will say. Both figures, like I said earlier, are repaints. Kong's differences are significantly more subtle than Godzilla's, but we'll get into that. And there goes the light. Alright, let's just fix this. And there goes the backdrop. Great. Anyway, starting with Godzilla here, he's made of a translucent blue vinyl with the detail and the black painted onto him, much like the 95 Burning Godzilla. I'm a big fan of these kinds of figures, and here I'll play with the lights to try to get his glowy effect as best I can on camera. It's a lot more noticeable in person, so I'll kind of try my best here, but that's one of my favorite things about this figure, and just figures like this in general are generally kind of my favorite. I just love the way they look, especially when you got lights to play with. I just love the way those fins look. But yeah, this is one of my favorite sculpts. It's the same as the 2019, which has a lot of nice little scale and ridge details all over the figure, which I'm a big fan of. Moving on to his tail, we got paint all the way down the back, which is a nice thing. And you better hope so. It's a friggin' exclusive figure. Better paint the tips of the tails all the way, or else I'm gonna lose my friggin' mind. But anyway, we got lucky here, and it looks pretty good. And looking at his face, this is one of my favorite parts of the figure. You just have like the blue, like radiating out of like the little cracks and crevices of his scales, and that's just one of my favorite things about his face. Just the eye there. I love that. Just the blue leaking out of him. It's on his chest here, in between his chest scales, and on his breast area. Even on his hand. Just love the detail on this figure. My favorite part is absolutely the fins. I just love the paint. They have this nice like light blue gradient on the center, and I'm just gonna play with the lights a little more. Moving on to articulation. His arms are gonna go 360 degrees all the way around. Nothing crazy or special there. And this one, all the way around we go. Oh, there we go. Good stuff. And his legs, 360 as well. And the other leg, just gotta move his arm out of the way first, but I'm gonna go from the back there. There we go. Tail is fixed, unfortunately, so no articulation there, and that leaves us with about 4 points on this bad boy. Looks like he's doing theater right now. Singing opera. Here's a side-by-side with the 2019 release. As you can see, the original release is more of like a coal matte black, where this one kind of has more of a shiny blue-black look to it. Both figures are really nice, but if I had to pick one, I much more prefer the 2021 here. I just love the way that blue looks on him. While the 2019 is not bad at all. I really like the way the blue on the fins looks actually on the 2019, but this 2021 really just kind of steals the show for me. Just a look on the front, like just the blue leaking through his eyes from a distance even looks cool to me. Like, that's so awesome. Biggest noticeable difference is that he's got the axe in this release. I really like this figure a lot, and let's just kind of go right into the detail on his face. I really like the scarring around his eyebrows and the way the teeth look. That really looks good to me, especially his eyes. The chest is good. I like the scars and just like the skin and hair detail on his chest and the hair detail on his legs here. I think that looks really good. Even on the other side. Really good stuff there. There's the axe with the Godzilla scale attached. It's really good. I like the way it looks and how it's wrapped, and on the handle. Some good stuff. I really like the bone too at the bottom here, or at least it looks like it's part of a bone that they used to make the axe. That's one of my favorite little details about it. I love that. And articulation, his arms are going to move 360 degrees. Here's the other. And like I said, the hand will also rotate 360 degrees with the axe, so you can get it in all sorts of different positions. His legs do not move at all, which is kind of a bummer, but you know, it's a Bandai figure. But he can rotate 360 degrees at the torso, so in case you wanted to do possessed Kong for whatever reason, there you go. You can do that. Awesome stuff. 3 points. And here's the original release. As you can see, the differences are very subtle. The original release is a lot lighter, whereas this one's kind of more darker with some kind of shinier highlight. Oh, and there he goes again. And and that one goes down too. As you can see, these figures are really kind of hard to get to stand up straight. But anyway, the newer one's got a lot more darker highlights, and I don't like the matte look as much as the original release. I prefer the look of the new one, as subtle as it is. It is certainly there. And here we have the pair with our Mecha Godzilla, just for some fun here. They scale quite nicely with him, and I always believe that, you know, he should be a good head above Godzilla, and that looks pretty good. And here he is with Kong. He should be even bigger, which he is. That also looks pretty good. For detail on these two figures, they're not very different from their original releases, and I'll give a bone to Kong here because he's the only one with anything really different, being the axe, and that looks pretty good. So I'm going to give the detail on both of these figures just kind of a flat awesome, because they're already pretty good in the first place. Oh, excuse me. And paint job is where the figures really kind of sell to me. That's what you're really looking for, is just an improved paint job compared to the Movie Monster series releases. And they're phenomenal on both of these figures. They look really good. They're certainly worthy of the premium exclusive that, you know, they have, that you have to get them through. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a pain in the butt to have to get the figures through like an exclusive Blu-ray set, but if you're the Bandai nut like me, or the vinyl nut like me, you need these figures. These are a must-have, and they kind of really nicely round out the Godzilla vs. Kong for the Bandai vinyl figures, if that makes any sense. They just look really nice all together. Coolness, both of these figures are really, really cool. There are significant improvements from their original releases, and like I said, they just really round out the whole Godzilla vs. Kong set very nicely, in my opinion. They're just really awesome figures, so they're going to get a totally radical from me for coolness. Value, I've seen this Blu-ray set go for $150 to $200 US. The figures individually, if you're lucky, you could probably get between, I'm gonna say 80 or maybe like 120 for the set or something if you're looking around on eBay. I bought the Blu-ray set because I wanted to have it and I wanted the figures, so bonus for me. But if you're just looking for the figures, you're gonna have to do some sleuthing, and I would expect to pay some cash for them.